What's going on, guys? This is Almost Expert Wrestling. We're coming to you with another Tough Enough recap review, whatever you call it. I'm, of course, here with Kyle Smith AEW, and we will be reviewing the second episode of Tough Enough this season. A lot to discuss. We saw what Kyle and I both before we started this said was a great episode, and obviously I agree because I said it, but I'm going to switch this over to Kyle right now. Give us a recap. Say whatever you want, Kyle. Go ahead.
Yes, I agree. For the second week in a row, we saw hashtag Tough Enough live on the USA Network, and once again, it did not disappoint. And in the second episode, we sort of seen what Tough Enough's going to be every week. We see how the format is. The first week it was a little bit confusing. They had to rush it. They had to get into it and everything. This week we saw a much more fluent episode. We saw it go through. We saw a lot of stuff, and we definitely were able to see characters build a little bit more out of all 12 contestants. And I can say it did not disappoint. Everybody continues to impress me in different ways. And tonight, let's get right into it. We saw the bottom three tonight was Deanna, Sarah Lee, and Alex. And all three for different reasons. Of course, Alex, who was the one that ended up going home. Alex, due to his, of course, giving up in the challenge and when they had to go into the water and swim, get the NXT Championship, of course, with him giving it up and saying that he really does not know much about the wrestling business and he feels like that's not important, which is completely wrong. I love how Patrick proved them wrong. And, of course, we saw Deanna, who I am not a big fan of. Follow at Kyle Smith AEW, you'll find out why. I do not like Deanna. She continues to complain. She continues to think that she's the best when I personally don't think she's even close to the best. Yeah, you won the challenge. So what? I mean, you can swim for a 1,000 miles. That's not going to make you a 15-time Divas champion. So don't even try to do anything like that. And of course, Sarah Lee, who I personally did not really know much about. I think Paige had said it. She had been blending in the background, and Paige really got mad at her and the other girl. I forgot who else she was talking about. But she had said that she was blending in the background. She was not important. And I agree, because I feel like on Tough Enough, you have to make an impact. You have to separate yourself from the pack, kind of like Tanner, ZZ, Patrick, even Deanna, and it can be for a good way, bad way, and Sarah Lee just did not show that much. So that was our bottom three, and of course we saw an episode full of many different things. We saw a couple challenges. One, of course, like I mentioned, involved going into the water and swimming to a boat, capturing an NXT World Championship and taking it back. And also we've seen having to take a bump from the top rope, which is a lot harder than it looks. You have to land right. And that was, of course, won by Patrick and I believe Georgia, I want to say that's her name, won for the women. So good job to both of them. And overall, another very, very good episode. I'll get to talking about the three people and why they were eliminated and who I thought should have been eliminated. I'll get to that in a moment. But let me get over to Joe real quick. Joe, I said my thoughts. I think it was a good episode overall. I'm sure you're going to say the same thing to me. But go ahead, talk about Tough Enough. Talk about the final three for a little, or the bottom three rather, for a little bit. Talk about the overall episode.
Yeah, I agree with everything you're saying there. I'm not going to reword it. Just like last week, I didn't want to reword everything you said. I agree. And, yeah, but I don't agree with one thing. It's just a minor thing that you and a lot of people were saying on Twitter. Of course, I'm going off the grid and saying what other people aren't. But, no, I think that everyone who was in the final three, bottom three, I always say final, bottom three really deserved to be there, like you said, for different reasons. And I agree with that. Obviously, Deanna for being what you call on your Twitter a bitch, and Alex for disrespecting the business, and Sarah Lee for just being there, and that's the thing. That's where I disagree a little bit. I understand, this is about Sarah Lee's what I disagree with. Everybody was saying, oh, she's not making an impact, and yeah, I agree with that. But the thing is that she's not the one who edits the show. She's not the one she could be doing stuff. That's all I'm saying. I mean, she was in the competitions, and obviously she did like average or something because she wasn't really shown that much. Obviously I still think that she deserved to be in the bottom three for not making that big of an impact, but I just think that she's not possibly not getting the credit that she deserves in a way because we didn't really see much from her, and I'm sure that she was doing okay in the competitions. That's all I'm saying. And another thing, what was the other thing I was gonna get to? I don't know, but I'll just keep talking. And yeah, they all deserve to be there in the bottom three. And for the second week in a row, voted for the person who ended up getting eliminated. And Kyle voted for Alex as well. I saw on Twitter. Um, that's what I was gonna get to. That's very good. Yeah, both of us voted for Alex, and everybody else was not. I voted for him and then saw everyone else was not, and everybody was tweeting why, and I was like, that's kind of true. So, I kind of changed my mind after I tweeted. I was like, okay, no going back now. But
Hey, I'll be right back to just talk for a little bit, alright?
okay, thanks. And you know, uh, everybody was counting Alex out and Diana. I really thought one of those two was gonna be definitely gone. I knew that Sarah Lee was probably gonna stay because everybody was voting for her on my wall, on my Twitter feed, um, and posting pictures of it, and that's great. I agreed with that. Like I didn't at first. I was like, oh, why not Alex? And then I saw.
I'm here.
Okay, great. You didn't miss much. And I kind of changed my opinion about my vote once I heard Sarah Lee's speech. I thought that it was actually probably the best speech. I mean, it's only week two, but still, best speech out of the bottom three for both the weeks combined. Pretty good, especially compared to Alex's, who I'm gonna steal the joke from Kyle. He said this before we started. Who pretty much just cried about losing his job, um, and then said, "Ooh, I told my girlfriend that I almost drowned. That's courage." Um, so that was a pretty bad speech. Why am I gonna vote for you? Well, I already did, but why would I vote for you after hearing all that complaining, bitching, moaning, and complaining? But yeah, I wanted to change my vote to Sarah Lee after her speech. Voting pretty much closed pretty fast there, so I missed out. But still, I'm glad to see that she's still there. Um, yeah, pretty good competitions. I'm just gonna touch on that really quick. Like Kyle was saying, I was a fan. I've been a fan of all these competitions so far. They've been all good. Especially now we're getting to taking bumps. This has been my like. This is a great part of all the Tough Enough seasons. It's great to see how they sell, how they like fall correctly. If they don't fall correctly, like we saw Diana fall on her butt and then her back. Um, that's the thing with the bumping from the um, top rope or the platform. Um, I noticed how that ring was like a a mattress. It was like a very what do they call? I forget what type of mattress. You know what I'm talking about, where it's all completely cushioned. Like that ring was very padded. You could just tell when they fell, like they sunk in. I tweeted out this. Looking at that, if I were on top of that platform, I would do Neville's red arrow, like any day on that. Because I mean, look at that padding. I mean, who wouldn't be afraid to just jump from that? I mean, it's not that tall. I mean, sure, people are afraid of heights. I'm probably one of them. But I mean, you're only at the top rope, and look at that padding. Just look at that padding. I would just go head first into that padding. Not really, but you get the point. So I like that challenge, and of course Patrick, like he said, was awarded the best of amongst the men, and I tweeted out that he should be because he's already trained for this. He already works at indie promotions, so he should have won that, and I'm glad he did. Um, so yeah, I'm just gonna. That's all I'm gonna say. And then the swimming thing, like you said, sure, Diana won that, but you're not gonna be, as you said, 15-time Divas champion. Whoa, by swimming through um, dirty water for 1,000 miles, and I agree with that. So I'm gonna hand this over to you. Start a new topic. I don't know where to go from here. Go ahead, Kyle.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It was great competitions, and actually, I was a little bit confused on the in ring competition. What I thought was that they were all going to um, get jumped on by Bull Dempsey and see if they could take it. That's what did anybody?
Yeah.
That's what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
They
Hold
did
on,
that
hold on,
last.
hold on. I'm gonna interrupt you for a second. That's what I was gonna touch on too. I mean, I'm sure you're about to say this, but I'm sorry. I have to steal this. Um, Everybody was saying on Twitter, like, wait, did I miss? Someone tweeted, did I miss Bull jumping on everyone? So it looks like, I mean, I don't. I guess they didn't get jumped on by him. Either that, or they screwed up and edited that out. I don't know. So continue, Kyle. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen because if anybody remembers Tough Enough season 5, Bill DeMott did that to everybody, even the women. He jumped on them, see if they could take it, which is great. I mean, yeah, it's a fucking 300-pound dude jumping on a 100-pound woman, but it's what needs to happen. You need to have that that strength, that power, that courage, which was the topic of the week. And I thought that was going to happen, but it didn't. But yeah, you're right. You touched on everything. We saw a lot of personalities this week. We saw a lot of people separate themselves from the pack. Patrick, my favorite, my number one guy, he definitely did well. Former Maryland championship wrestler, a phenomenal guy. I love that guy. I hope he wins. He did great. And same situation with Tanner, who I was also a big fan of. I even tweeted, Tanner and Josh, they were playing pool together. I don't understand why they were playing pool if they don't like each other. Like,
Yeah.
that was pretty funny to me. But definitely everybody. I felt like I got to know everybody a little bit more. Mata, who had the segment with talking to his wife, that was awesome. Showing their personal lives. I like that. I like how we were able to see a little bit of everybody this week. More like the first week, I felt like they only focused on about half the people. This week, I felt like I know everybody's name. Joe touched on that earlier too. I feel like I know everybody, which is a good thing. And I feel like this season of Tough Enough, a lot of people gave a shit last week. I said I had a big rant about that. A lot of people, always going to give WWE programming shit. I felt like this week maybe WWE Tough Enough got a little bit of a little bit more respect just because of how the episode went. And it continues to be live, which I didn't think that was going to happen. But it's a good thing. It wasn't live for too long. We just had HH and Paige and Daniel Bryan talking to the competitors. So we continue to see them and how they do. So, but I don't really have much more to say. An overall good episode. I got to see a lot of talent. Got to see a lot more personalities, and I can't wait as this season continues week after week. And we're going to continue to see these superstars more maybe in live action in the ring, one-on-one exhibition matches, different challenges, and new challenges, all that stuff. So we'll continue to do all that. And Joe, go ahead, man. Final thoughts on the episode of Tough Enough and whatever else.
Yeah, man. This episode was great. I really liked the way the direction of the show was going. I'm really impressed because, in the past, Tough Enough has been, like I've seen like the first 2 seasons or whatever, and obviously the one last time, season 5, and all of them were great. Season 5 was probably the worst one out of all of them, even though we're 2 episodes into this one. This one's already better than that, I'd say, because in that one, if I'm not wrong, we didn't really get to know the contestants too well. I mean, Kyle's probably seen it on demand more than me or something, season 5, but I don't. I think that this season's great as far as getting to know the competitors, the contestants, whatever you call them. We get to see their personal lives a little bit. We get to see who they are. A lot more, like you said, the pool scene. I mean, did we ever see people playing pool in season 5? No, and arguing at the same time. I like it. I like the behind the scenes kind of feel to it. We're not just watching competitions and then like, oh, how good are they? I like the way that we're seeing their actual personalities, which is crucial in the wrestling business. And so that's my final thought. That's all I'm going to say. I'm sure if you hit that subscribe button below, you'll hear me say that every week. But it's true, though. It can't be said enough, It's a really great season. Great episode tonight. So I'll hand it over to you, Kyle. What are your final thoughts? Was the last thing you said your final thoughts? But go ahead.
Yeah, we nailed it, guys. I think it's getting a little bit repetitive here. Obviously, we know that Tough Enough's great, and we're going to be continuing this Tough Enough episode recap review every single week leading up to the finale. So we continue to enjoy Tough Enough, and you nailed it. You know, the backstage or behind the scenes more feels more like a reality show. On the previous season, it was basically just a lot of in-ring stuff, a lot of in-ring stuff, a lot of in-ring stuff. This season is more of a lot more stuff going on at the house, a lot more. You know, we're seeing their personalities a lot more on display along with their in-ring talent, and so that's awesome. So I don't really have much more to say. Start with the plugs.
Start with the plugs. Okay, I have the honors of starting the plugs. Thank you all for watching. We really appreciate it. Hit that like button below. Also hit that subscribe button. That's the button that you really want to press. I promise you your computer will not explode if you hit that subscribe button. It will just give you great videos with us discussing Tough Enough and everything else, giving predictions for pay-per-views, all that good stuff. Hit that subscribe button. You won't regret it. Join the millions of people who subscribe to us, as well as the millions and millions who follow me on my Twitter. Go ahead, join them. Don't be a leader. Be a follower of @officialaew on Twitter. I just came up with that. @officialaew. Hit me up on Twitter. I've never used that term. Follow me there. Just follow me. Whatever. Comment below your thoughts on our on this video. And check out last week's if you want. I mean, if you want to see our recap, I went on a rant about a certain contestant who my opinion has changed a little about. You'll see who I mean. Just check back there if you want my little mini tantrum rant, whatever you call it. So, yeah, thank you all. And Kyle, give us your plug.
Yes, sir. Yep, like Joe said, thank you all for watching, and of course, don't forget to check out me on Twitter @KyleSmithAEW for all live tweeting during Tough Enough each and every week. You know what? It's more of like the @KyleSmithAEW Tough Enough exclusive. That's all you'll see from me is Tough Enough. Joe over there at Official AEW, he'll take care of Raw, SmackDown, along with Tough Enough, but I'll be the Tough Enough special. I'm kind of like The Miz. I only perform on Tough Enough. I never perform on Raw. If I do perform on Raw, I perform like shit. So there you go. And that's what you'll find out from me at Kyle Smith AEW for all Tough Enough tweeting. And like Joe said, rather subscribe, like the video, comment, do all that crazy stuff, and that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you all for watching, and this is Almost Expert Wrestling.
Until next time, this is AEW. Haha.